Righto folks, g'day, thanks for tuning in. This is a bit of a rundown on the eScootNow IoT GPS Tracker based on the Eelink TK418 device. So your device itself has a socket for a SIM card. You stick your SIM card in by opening up the socket and slide it in. It's got an IP54 or thereabouts rated waterproof seal on it, so do keep that little clear silver SIM card panel nice and sealed, and Bob is your uncle. SIM card's installed. Alright, so once the SIM card's physically installed, you're going to want to connect your tracker to some sort of power, which we use this JST 4-pin connector here, into the eScootNow XT30 Universal Harness. The XT30 is the power only, easy, straightforward, basic way of getting power from your scooter battery to your electric scooter. Using the XT30 with a pass-through, like a Y adapter if you wish. So if you do have existing components on your scooter drawing power from your XT30, you can simply go inline through here. XT60 connectors, the bigger ones, are typically for your motors. 30 is often used for a controller. So that's pretty much it. Don't worry about the orange and yellow. They're just accessories and relay. But we do have custom controller specific harnesses planned to use that type of thing anyway. But they're there just for convenience, really. The other two you need not use for a simple GPS tracking application. Alrighty, so what I'll do now is basically, because I've activated my SIM card, I think it's a belong SIM, but Aldi's generally good enough for putting in most scooters. A couple of commands you want to send to it, so you're just sending text messages to the SIM card that's in that device. So the first one we'll send is a status with a hash, and obviously we need to power this little sucker up, so just going to quickly take it out to the bench, and I'll do that one. Just go out to the bench, might just flick that camera around. There you go. So all we've got here in simple form is effectively just that harness hooked up here, providing power to the unit. Might take this cover off so we can see our little lights. We'll see the lights come up. So if we just switch on power, I'm just running 12 volts here, you can run to about 72 volts. Power to the unit, and you'll see the red light, which is basically, it's booting up. Red light constant, and the blue's for the radio. So the blue's flashing, and what they'll do is they'll just eventually go a steady red once the operating system, kernel, etc. is all booted on the device, and the blue one is when the radio's got a link on the LTE 4G network. Alright, so we'll hit a status command to it and an SMS status hash from your mobile phone or whatever SMS messaging client you use. Status hash to that, and it'll come back and it's returned battery 100%, etc. So all we're doing is we're configuring it to use the APN of the Telstra MNVO, so this one's the Aldi or Belong one. Send that APN command through to it, and it'll come back with a text message response just like the status one did, and it'll say right, set. We'll also hit it with a GPS config, keep the GPS receiver always on, and we'll select the collection intervals as well. That's a status hash, PARAM hash is for your parameters, so we just ask for parameters that's already pre-configured from the factory to talk to the complementary Eelink tracker platform, so you can log your data on there. So really just optimizing the collection intervals, keeping the GPS always on, which I think is already set anyway, and the specific APN, although I've noticed the internet APN seems to work fine, but anyway, we'll use the supported ones to be safe. So that's pretty much about it there. So you can find your device when you log into the Eelink platform, as I have here on the left hand side, and you can see the device is apparent and going to be in there. So if I just go into search for it by the MAC address, for example. There it is. It says it's online. This one itself is using satellite positioning, so it's got a GPS lock on where we are. It's correct. There's also those same system parameter and status commands available through the web interface as well, if you wanted to check. But that's yeah, pretty much all there. So you can tell now you've got the right config applied. It's pointing back in, and that's all good. Specific instructions for this, really for the DIY installers, is all on the eScootNow stores product page, the nitty and gritty config, and I guess some of the videos you've shown here for these wiring harnesses and stuff, and there are also parts in there as well if you wish to order. So there are plenty of trackers here in Brisbane, folks, to mobilise the visibility of your scooterage. A good 20 or 30 there. Orders allocated as well, thank you, those have come through. Cables, the wiring harnesses, the XT30s, yeah, to go with them, as well as obviously the factory harness as well that comes with it. And Bob's your uncle, and we're up and running. So yeah, that's a bit of a pre-config. Much of that pre-config, those commands I'm setting, they're going to be done in China in the factory. In fact, I think most of that's actually applied to this new batch that's come through. So yeah, maybe just a matter of sort of boxing them up now, and obviously setting them up in your, getting your apps in your phone and all that sort of thing, and connected in your account. So yeah, that's it. Happy days. Check ya.